2002-3, you win the league. Everybody's dream. You got a big cheesy grin on your face there, pal. What was that like?
I got some slagging that says a lot of people says I've made a lot of mistakes, especially the Spurs goal, and I just says, "Come the end of the day, it happens in football." The Spurs goal wasn't a goal because it was 0-0 against Spurs.
Absolutely,
so absolutely.
I don't know what you're on about.
I never thought.
Talk us through that event, Roy.
Right, let me say about the Premier League. I never thought I'd be sitting in Enniskillen high school, sitting thinking to my career teacher, I want to be a professional footballer. Yeah. And he said, you can't do it, Roy. It's very difficult. And once winning that medal, that's the proudest thing in my life, winning that medal, Premier League medal. A lot of people tried to win it. Stephen Gerrard would love to win it, and he never got the chance. So it's amazing to win that medal. And Messi wants to talk about the goal that wasn't. I wish I never said anything.
Can you remember it? Well, can you remember that shot that didn't cross the line?
I remember it really well, Messi. It was one of those. It was one of them idiot moments of a goalkeeper who you're running back and then you it's an easy ball to catch, but I'm looking out to throw the ball to Gary Neville instead of keeping an eye on the ball until it comes into my chest. And then, as I always say to the young ones, make sure you react to anything. And when that ball went over my shoulder, I still reacted. And I kept it from going over the line, which was fantastic for me.
Absolutely, you did.
That incident has gone down in Premier League history. And whenever VAR came in, that clip was actually used quite a lot.
I know. Could I make any money out of that? Can I sue them for using my image rights?
Probably not, mate. Horse is bolted.
The worst thing about it, Helen, I moved to West Ham after that, and I moved to a wee place called Chigwell, and I didn't realize the Spurs training ground was just down the road. Oh. So I got hammered when I moved to Chigwell. It was a nightmare. So it was.
What did you probably were thinking at the time? Oh my goodness, I'm going to be in for one of these infamous Sir Alex Ferguson hairdryer treatments. But I believe that he just said to you what happened. Is that right?
Yeah, I think I said this a couple of weeks ago to somebody doing a wee interview, and I said it was the longest walk I ever walked off the pitch before in my life. I think it took me about 10 minutes walking off the pitch. And be fair to Sir Alex, he just says, Roy, what happened? I says, boss, and he took me off the ball. I wasn't concentrating. He says, be fair, reactions were good. So
yeah, absolutely.
I thought I was going to get the hair dryer treatment. I've never seen the hair dryer treatment, so I can't say anything about that.
Have you not? No.
No, I've never seen it. But when you make a mistake in Manchester United, it's a big mistake. You know what I mean? Everybody picks it up. It's different when you play for the likes of lower teams in the league or whatever, because a lot of keepers who went to Manchester United, who's done really well in the lower part of the league, would come in at Old Trafford. It's completely different setup. You know what I mean? You might not have that much to do in a game, and you make one save or you let one in. It's headlines. You know what I mean? Especially with myself, was the big one against Spurs, and it was like in the papers and still in the papers and it's still in the VAR.
Does that annoy you at all, Roy?
I'll tell you the truth, Helen, no, it doesn't. I just laugh about it now, you know what I mean? At the time, it was just, you just get on with it when you're playing. But even now, when I think it was, who was it? Sheffield United scored against, was it Aston Villa?
Aston Villa, yeah.
The restart.
The watch never worked, and next minute I got so many missed calls from the press, and I was wondering how the hell did he get my number. But especially in Fermanagh, my phone doesn't work in this part of the world, but somehow their numbers were ringing through.
Right, just growing up, you'd have watched probably, like me, like most kids growing up, FA Cup finals, and in 2004, you managed to get on. Last 6 minutes, 7 minutes. Was it true that the gaffer promised you an FA Cup medal, or?
No, he promised it. No, he promised. He didn't promise anything. He just says, "Roy, if we're winning the game, we'll let you. If we're winning the game 3-0, we'll put you on on because you did well for us in the semi-finals against Arsenal." Because I knew, Messi, see myself, you're not stupid as a footballer. I had a really bad time after the semi-finals. About 2 or 3 games afterwards, I was letting in silly goals and stuff like that there, and I knew the writing was on the wall. And he came up to me, and I didn't even disagree. I says, "You're right," and he says, I said, "Thanks," and then I thought it was all over because it was the last 10 minutes, and then he looked around. He says, "Roy, get changed," and he came on for the last 7 minutes, and It was some feeling coming on. Like I was going to let 3 goals in to play another extra time. You know what I mean?
Have your moment.
Play an extra 30 minutes.
Well, what was that like though? I mean, as you say, I mean, for me, playing an FA Cup final is probably the best feeling ever, and winning it.
Yeah.
And I mean, for a goalkeeper, it's one of those, and you think I'm never going to get on because there's a goalkeeper there. But for the manager to actually say to you, listen, if we're 3-0 up, you're going on. At 2-0, did you think, for God's sake, lads, get another goal, will you? You must have been up and down that line praying for another goal.
I think I must have done about 10-mile runs up and down that line, mate, trying to push the ball in the back, blow the ball in the back of the net. No, but it was some feeling when it come on. Like it's always a young boy's dream to come on and play in the FA Cup final. But I wish it was Wembley, you know what I mean? But it wasn't. But that's the neat thing.
Didn't you go into rehab under a false name as well?
I went in. My agent decided to do that. You see, because I was completely. I didn't want to go in. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to go in. My problem was I didn't think I had a problem.
It's incredible as well that you said that was a 6-year period that you were out, for example, of the Northern Ireland squad. You went from West Ham to Rangers to Derby, then you went to Denmark, and you picked yourself up. It's absolutely incredible that. I
stopped drinking that June 11th. It's amazing how you know when you stop drinking. It's scary when you think about it. June 11th.
So the drinking continued through all of those clubs that I've just mentioned?
Yeah, until I moved to Greece, and that's when I stopped drinking.
And what was the situation with your family at that time? Were you...
We were separated, me and the wife, and then probably by the end of July, she realised I was off the drink for nearly over a month. And
you were serious about it?
Because I was living in Essex, you see, and everybody knew me, and everybody knew my wife, like around that small area, and I always got back to her, and then she rang me and says, we came back together, and that was it. Like, and then, it was still a hard track to get her to trust me again because of the drinking, and we moved to Greece, and we never looked back since. She loved it. We moved to Athens then after 6 months playing for Offi. Olympiakos bought me from Offi, and I got my life back on, but it was the hardest 6 months of my life because my head was telling me I had to drink to get my body going again because my body was completely wrecked.
That's unbelievable. That is. What actually decided for you to stop that day? Was it because you've lost your family sort of thing, or?
No, I woke up and I just looked in the mirror, and something just looked back at me, and I didn't know who it was. I said, "What am I doing?" I looked at it was me looking in the mirror. I didn't even recognise myself, and I knew I lost my family. But I'm going to say I've basically lost football as well. Like, I'm going to lose my life. I'm going to lose my life because the drinking I was doing was ridiculous. Like, I was just drinking, you name it, what was in front of me, I was drinking it. And I didn't care how bad it was and how horrible it tasted. I was just drinking it. And I knew I was going to probably end up dying if I keep doing what I was doing.
You are incredible, Roy, for what you've done and coming through all that. And as you say, people need guidance, don't they? And how hard it is to ask for help and then to accept the help. You've had an absolutely incredible career. And as you say, probably the pinnacle, obviously winning the Premier League, but going to the Euros with Northern Ireland as well.
Yeah. Yes, Premier League, winning the Premier League, but my dream was always play for Northern Ireland, and getting the opportunity when you see the likes of Pat Jennings playing in major tournaments. And yet people are doubting you to get into the major tournaments now with the squad we had. And we end up doing it. It was a fantastic feeling. It was the best 3 weeks of my life as a football player as well.
Johnny says that too. I'm not sure whether he just means in football or just in general, though.
He was actually saying that just to get away from you.
He's a bad man. He's a bad man.
3 weeks out with this is perfect.
But Roy, I just want to say that because we are running out of time. But when you said that your eyes filled up when you were on the bench, only now that you've told your whole story, like, that is incredible to actually get through all of that and then go and represent your country at a major tournament, which was one of your dreams. To have overcome the mountain that you overcame.
And I think that's what hit me when we lost against Wales. I think that's what hit me the most. Like, after what I've been through, what I put my wife through, and I'm crying here.
Oh no, don't! I'll cry too. It's okay, we've got time.
You're a brave, honest to God, Roy, you're a very, very brave man to admit everything you've done. And you've come out the other end.
Maisie's crying too.
Right.
You're all right.
Yeah,
But it's playing for your country and that emotion. And I know that night the night in Leon that, sorry to all Manchester United fans for going through this, but when we got that win and then getting put out against Wales, I know Johnny was in tears, I was in tears, lots of people were in tears, but for you that must have had a completely different meaning.
Yeah, that's what it was. It wasn't the football side. I know it sounds bad, this, but it was what I put my family through and what I put myself through. And to look back, to be sitting on the bench and thank Michael and Neil for giving me the chance to come back again. It was brilliant. It was brilliant.